The air hung heavy with midnight's chill as Daniel Martin fueled his Harley, the rhythmic chug of the pump a lonely soundtrack. Suddenly, it was punctuated by soft sobs. At the next pump, a girl, barely out of her teens, stood hunched over, her young face etched with desperation. Her hands trembled as she counted a meager collection of coins, quarters and dimes amounting to a pathetic $3. Her Honda's fuel gauge was pinned at empty. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she recounted the same coins, as if willing more money to materialize. Without a word, Daniel crossed to her pump, his weathered hand sliding his credit card into the reader. "Please stop," she pleaded, grabbing his arm, her voice choked with fear. "Please don't do this. It's already going, sweetheart," Daniel said gently, his voice a calming balm. "You don't understand." Her voice dropped to a terrified whisper. "My boyfriend's inside getting cigarettes, and if he sees you helping me, he'll think I asked for it." Daniel's gaze softened, understanding dawning in his eyes. He'd seen that look before, that haunted vulnerability. "How much does he usually let you put in?" Daniel asked, keeping his voice low. "Whatever these coins buy," she whispered, her eyes darting nervously towards the gas station. "About half a gallon, just enough to get home." "Where's home?" 40 miles from here." The pump whirred to life, the numbers climbing steadily. $20, $30, $40. It clicked off at $42, the tank now brimming with fuel. The girl stared at the display, her face paling. "Oh God, what did you do?" she gasped. "He's literally going to kill me." "Why would your boyfriend kill you for someone else buying gas?" Daniel asked, though he already knew the answer. He could see the faint outlines of bruises on her arms, shadows she desperately tried to conceal beneath her sleeves. "Please, just leave before he comes out," she begged, her eyes wide with panic. "You're making it worse. He'll think I planned this." Then, her whole body went rigid, her eyes fixated on the gas station door. "He's coming." Tyler swaggered out of the convenience store, a coiled spring of menace barely contained. Early 20s, a too-tight muscle shirt straining against his frame, prison tattoos crawling up his neck. He spotted Daniel standing by his girlfriend, and his face contorted into a mask of possessive rage. "The hell is this?" Tyler snarled, stalking towards them. He shoved his face close to the girl's. "I leave you for 5 minutes, and you're begging strangers for money?" "I didn't ask him for anything, Tyler. He just..." Tyler's hand shot out, his fingers clamping around her arm with brutal force, making her wince. Nobody fills up a tank unless someone's asking. A flicker of anger ignited in Daniel's eyes. He stepped forward, his imposing frame casting a shadow over Tyler. "I filled her tank because I saw someone in need," Daniel said, his voice low and steady. "She didn't ask." Tyler sized up Daniel, 6 feet 3 inches, 240 pounds, a leather vest adorned with 40 years of patches, a silent testament to a life lived on his own terms. An old biker who clearly wasn't intimidated by punk kids. "Mind your own business, old man," Tyler spat, punctuating his words with a gob of saliva that landed inches from Daniel's boots. "Get in the car, Brandy. Now." Daniel moved, positioning himself between them and the car, an unyielding barrier. "I don't think she wants to go with you. Are you serious right now?" Tyler laughed, a harsh, grating sound. "Brandy, tell this old dude you want to come with me." Daniel turned his gaze to the girl, his eyes filled with concern. "Do you feel safe with him?" "Truth, right now. She feels fine," Tyler shouted, his grip tightening on Brandy's arm. But Brandy remained silent, tears silently tracing paths down her cheeks, her arms wrapped tightly around herself as if trying to protect herself from the world. "Brandy," Daniel said gently, his voice a lifeline in the storm. "Do you want to get in that car with him?" She whispered 2 words that changed everything, 2 words that unleashed a torrent of pent-up fear and desperation. "Help me." Tyler exploded, a volcano of rage erupting. He swung a wild punch at Daniel, but the old biker was ready. He caught Tyler's fist in his calloused hand and had him pinned against the car in a heartbeat. 43 years of riding and 20 years in construction had forged a strength that belied his age. "Let me go," Tyler screamed, thrashing against Daniel's grip. "Someone call the cops," Tyler shrieked, his voice cracking with panic. "Great idea," Daniel said, his voice laced with grim satisfaction. "Let's show them those bruises on your girlfriend's arms." Almost as if on cue, the distant wail of sirens filled the air. Someone had indeed called the police. 2 squad cars screeched to a halt, their flashing lights painting the scene in stark blues and reds. Officers approached cautiously, their hands resting on their weapons. "Sir, release him and step back," the first officer commanded, his voice firm and authoritative. Daniel released Tyler, who immediately launched into a tirade of accusations. "This psycho attacked me. I want him arrested." The officer turned to Daniel, his expression questioning. "Is that true?" "I stopped him from grabbing his girlfriend, who's covered in bruises and terrified of him," Daniel explained, his voice calm but resolute. The second officer, a woman with a compassionate face, approached Brandy, who had collapsed on the curb, her body racked with sobs. "Ma'am, do you need medical attention?" "I just want to go home," Brandy sobbed, her voice barely audible. "To my mom's house in Nebraska. Tyler made me move here 6 months ago." The first officer's radio crackled to life. "We've got 2 active warrants on Tyler Henderson, domestic violence in Missouri, failure to appear in Kansas." Tyler's face drained of color. "Those are mistakes," he stammered, his bravado evaporating. The officers cuffed him and shoved him into the back of the squad car. his screams of protest and threats directed at Brandy echoing in the night air. After Tyler was hauled away, Brandy, her body still trembling, walked over to Daniel, her eyes filled with gratitude and a dawning sense of hope. "You saved my life," she said, her voice thick with emotion, as she pushed up her sleeves to reveal a horrifying tapestry of bruises that marred her arms. "He did this yesterday because I smiled at a cashier." "How long has this been going on?" Daniel asked, his voice laced with concern. "Since we got here. He never let me have more than $3 for gas, so I couldn't leave." Tears streamed down her face. "I was finally going to try to run today, but I only had $3, and I knew I wouldn't make it." A domestic violence advocate arrived to take Brandy to a safe shelter. Daniel reached into his wallet and pulled out $300, pressing the bills into her hand. "I can't take this," Brandy protested, her eyes wide with disbelief. "You can and you will. Get yourself home to Nebraska safely," Daniel insisted, his voice firm but gentle. She threw her arms around him, hugging him tightly, her body shaking with relief. "How do I pay you back?" "Help someone else who needs it someday," Daniel replied, his voice husky with emotion. "That's how." The advocate led Brandy to her car, a police escort ensuring her safety. Daniel watched them leave, his hands clenched into fists, his heart heavy with anger at men who preyed on the vulnerable. 2 weeks later, Daniel called the shelter to check on Brandy. The advocate informed him that she had made it safely to Nebraska. "She left something for you," the advocate added. Daniel rode his Harley to the shelter and received a sealed envelope. Inside was a letter, written in a shaky hand. "Dear Mr. Daniel, I'm home and safe. You gave me back my freedom and my life. I'm enrolling in college to become a social worker to help other women escape. Because of you, I get to have dreams again. Forever grateful. Brandy." 3 years have passed since that fateful night at the gas station. Brandy graduated college with honors and now works at a domestic violence shelter in Nebraska, dedicating her life to helping other women escape from men like Tyler. She emails Daniel occasionally, sharing updates about the women she's helped, the lives she's touched. Last month, she sent him a photo of herself standing proudly beside her new car. "Bought it myself with my first paycheck. It always has a full tank. Thank you for teaching me I deserved better." Tyler got 15 years in prison on multiple charges. He'll never hurt another woman for a long time. Daniel still carries Brandy's photo in his wallet, a constant reminder that one person stepping up, one act of kindness, can change everything. He never sees someone in trouble now without stopping. He never tells himself it's not his business because a 19-year-old girl counting $3 at a gas pump needed someone to see her pain, to ask if she felt safe, to care enough to help. Daniel tells this story to his writing brothers often. The story of the night he filled a stranger's gas tank and saved her life. "That's what we do," his club president always says, his voice gruff with emotion. "We protect the vulnerable." Every biker in that room has a similar story, a story of someone they helped when they could have easily ridden away. That's what real bikers do. They see trouble and they stop. They stand between bullies and victims. They give struggling kids gas money and domestic violence victims a way out. Small acts save lives. A full tank of gas gave Brandy the fuel to escape. $300 got her home to safety. One old biker asking, "Do you feel safe?" changed her entire future. Now Brandy saves other women the same way, one full tank at a time, one escape route at a time, one "Do you feel safe?" at a time. All because a biker started pumping gas into a crying girl's car and refused to stop when she begged him to. Sometimes heroes wear leather vests instead of capes. Sometimes they ride Harleys instead of white horses. And sometimes they just fill up gas tanks for girls with only $3 and a lifetime of bruises.